Excellency President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohamed, Head of Public Service in Kenya, Dr. Joseph Kinyua, all protocols observed. Good morning. I'd love for you to remember one thing from my remarks this morning, and the first thing is this: never underestimate the power of your presence in a room or in a space. Whoever you are, never ever underestimate the power of your presence in a room or in a space. You never know who's watching, and you never know who needs to tap into that power for something in them to be born or to be birthed. I vividly remember the year 2011. I happened to have been representing Kenya in the African peer review mechanism process when Kenya was being reviewed at the AU Heads of State Summit. And I sat in that room, and I know a number of us know that story. There was only one African woman in the room, and that was Her Excellency, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I sat there, looked around, and of course it is obvious that Africa has over 50% of the population being women. So where are the women? And I just wondered, what would happen if only Africa had a few more women leaders who understand the essence of service, who are competent, who have integrity, and who seek to serve and make a difference in their nations and on the continent? What would happen? And of course, again, I looked around the room, and there were no young people. The few young people who were there were carrying briefcases, and there were no key decision makers or head of government in that particular room. That was a deep moment of reflection for me. And I vividly remember President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf walking to the podium in her beautiful, flowing African dress, and that was the year when Liberia was being admitted to be part of the African peer review mechanism process. And I just said, I need to go back home and start something or get involved in something that is already existing that would mentor young men and women and create spaces for them or support them to create spaces for themselves to actually thrive and make a difference in all sectors: politics, government, civil society, international agencies, media, all spaces. And I started Emerging Leaders Foundation, and this is just so beautiful. You know why? Because this year, Emerging Leaders Foundation is celebrating 10 years since inception. And this is the same year when the person who inspired that passion and that dream in me, President Sirleaf, is in Kenya and coming, of course, to officiate the launch of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program. Like, this is so serendipitous, so beautiful. And so I just wish to repeat that. Never underestimate the power of your presence in a room or in a space. Number two, I do believe that there are many equalizers in life. But as I get older and go on with life, I am learning that one key equalizer in life is mentorship. I am a big product of mentorship. Head of Public Service, Dr. Joseph Kinyua, I know you have met so many people, so I don't know whether you remember meeting me. But in 2006, you actually awarded me Young Female Achiever of the Year 2006 at the University of Nairobi. And then you and I met up later in about 2010, 2011, when Kenya was being reviewed, peer-reviewed. And I remember sitting in this room representing young people in this particular process, and Dr. Kinyua pulling me aside and talking to me about the power of a dream. By then, I was just a council member representing young people, speaking for young people. But he pushed me to a different space and opened certain doors for me. That can only happen when somebody has trust in a young person. Let's appreciate Dr. Kinyua. And what makes me really happy about this particular program is that mentorship is a core element of this program. And all the fellows are going to have mentors. Yesterday, one of the sessions we had was with the former head of public service, Ambassador Mudaura. And he shared his wealth of experience, over 50 years of service in public service. That was really, really amazing. And I really urge you to take on the lessons that come with such individuals and wealth of experiences that they bring to the table. I wish to just recognize a few people that have been part of my journey and continue to be part of my journey and the journeys of many, millions of young people in terms of mentorship and guidance. Let me just recognize the Emerging Leaders Foundation Board and Advisory Council. If you're here, just rise to your feet. I'd just love to recognize you. Thank you very much. I honor and appreciate you. Thank you so much. And of course, we have the steering committee of the Public Service Fellowship Program. Very quickly, if you could just stand to your feet wherever you are. We have some representatives here present. Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, this collaboration wouldn't be without the support of the Public Service Commission of Kenya Board. And so let's also appreciate the Public Service Commission. One thing I would love to stress is about engagement and involvement, meaningful involvement of young people. When we started the creation and co-creation of this particular program, we decided that, you know what, we might be thinking, we understand where young people are and what the challenges are, but no, let's make a moment, let's take time and listen to the young people. What are their issues? What are their aspirations? How do they want to be empowered? Where do they see as being the problem, and what are the solutions they want to create? And through this particular partnership with Emerging Public Leaders, Public Service Commission of Kenya, and Emerging Leaders Foundation, we have co-created this, something that is so beautiful, of course, together with the Chandler Institute of Governance, based in Singapore, that has helped us to put together the curriculum. Kindly just help me to appreciate this particular collaboration. As I come to the end of my remarks, I'd love for us to really deeply reflect, especially for Kenyans who are here, but even for non-Kenyans, this is a good moment of reflection. COVID happened, a number of challenges were faced, and a number of things came up. Many people lost their jobs, women, men, young people, majority of them being young people. And when you go on social media, Twitter, Facebook, we're complaining, crying, and saying, oh, this is not working, this is not working. And sometimes I have seen us sitting back and waiting for help to come from some other place, for people to come and resolve our challenges and our issues in this country. I think that is so defeatist, because we have the power, we have the human resource, we have the capacity, we have everything that we need to create the Kenya that we want to see. And of course, the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship and Program is just a tip of the iceberg. But what would happen if each and every Kenyan, each and every one of us, took personal responsibility and decided to become active citizens, to read and understand the Constitution, to live by the values stipulated in the Constitution, to take care of each other, to promote dignity, what would happen? Just picture that. The help we are looking for elsewhere, or we think some other person will come and bring it here, we have it. We are that help that we need. We are the solution we are seeking for. And so this morning, I just want to challenge each and every one of us. Take personal responsibility in our families, in our institutions, in our learning institutions, with the young people and children we get to encounter. Take responsibility to nudge somebody forward, to inspire somebody, to tell a young person that though you failed, that is not final. That is just a stepping stone to your next step in your journey. Because at one point or the other, we all need that voice, that encouraging voice, that nudging push for us to go to the next level. So I urge each and every one of us, let us take personal responsibility and be the ones to build our nation and take it to the next level, because it is possible. Many other nations have done that. We have the power, and we can be able to do that as well. So let us take that personal responsibility. Like Wangari Maathai put it, her little thing was planting trees. And I know there are a number of programs like the UNDP through Walid, I see Walid in the room, who are really championing the planting of trees, the Ministry of Environment, and many young people are getting into this. But like Professor Wangari Maathai, she found her little thing, which was planting trees. What is your little thing? Please find it and fan those flames in your heart and keep going. Make a difference. Thank you so much, and God bless you.